My mom and dad divorced when I was 6, I think. Somewhere around 6. But I specifically remember those terrible 3 years that it took my mom to muster up the courage to leave California. The screaming, the fighting, the arguing. He actually kidnapped my sister. She was somewhere between like 3 and 4. Just a baby, really. And I remember the battles in the kitchen, my mom holding me and my dad her, telling us to just leave. Just leave, but that he wanted to keep her. There was this bond that they had that I never had with him. And later on, my mom would tell me that he was too drunk when I was young and that he never really held me, and maybe that's the reason why we never really had that bond. After he took her and disappeared for 3 days, my mom had it, and one day we were just told to pack up some things in one little plastic bag, and we left. We flew all the way to Massachusetts, and we started to build a new life. All the while without knowing that my father was saving up money to come and join us. The first time my mother handed me the phone, she didn't tell me who it was. She just gave it to me. And that was when I saw how weak my mother was, or how weak I thought she was. She was letting him back into her life, and I was furious. 3 years later, he moved into a hotel room down the street from our new home. I fought against his love for 26 years. 26 years I spent balled up fists. I clung to telephone poles when I had to go spend the weekend with him. I would lock myself in my room. I would tie myself to the post of my bed with a rope. I endured therapy. People thought my behavior was strange. People thought that something must have happened. I just started to confuse myself. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who I was. There was just this feeling, this thing that I couldn't quite understand, that set panic and a feeling of danger to surge through me whenever I thought I was about to be left alone with him. I put a restraining order against him when I turned 13. All the while, he was going to countless meetings, support groups, AA, anything to get back in his life, and I just made it a nightmare. I just turned 27, and I am guilty. Not for all those things that happened, but for what just happened. My mother called me to tell me that my father has a tumor. And now suddenly,